Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division 2 video today by me, Vulcan. In this video I wanted to share with you an awesome game that I streamed recently on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/VulcanHDGaming. Make sure to go follow me there if you're interested in catching more games like this or potentially getting involved. Also consider joining my Discord. It's a great place to be to keep up to date with when I'm going to go live. Generally I go live on Saturdays and Sundays at 8 PM BST, sometimes both days. But the best way to keep up is definitely on Discord. Discord's also great for if you're new to the game. You can get up to speed with help from people in the community, which is great. And also I'm very active on there, so if you want to get in touch, that is probably the best way to do so. Either way, the new DLC has come out, Death on the Vistula, and it's brought 4 new divisions, one of which I'm going to be able to show you guys today. There is also a new campaign, a massive campaign actually, that I am of course going to be covering on the channel in the near future. And further to that, there is also the new historical missions. Aside from the DLC, a free update has come out which has introduced the smart orders, as well as a few UI updates that you'll probably see as we go through the game today. And so if you haven't played Steel Division 2 in a little while, it may be time to boot it back up again, which would be cool because there's quite a lot of people playing at the moment. Also, for those of you who have been waiting for a sale to pick up Steel Division 2 or just haven't picked up the game yet, now just might be the time to do so. I'm not paid to say this, but the Total Conflict Edition is currently 40% off on Steam. It's the edition that includes the main base game, the DLC that's just come out, as well as the 2 future History Pass DLCs. And there's also a bunch of bonus content with the Total Conflict Edition. So make sure to go check that out if you're interested in picking up the game but have been waiting for it to be a little bit cheaper. Definitely worth a look. Anyway, today I'm going to be playing with the Polish Home Army, which is one of the 2 new Polish divisions on the Soviet side. The other Polish division being the 1st Polish Infantry that you can see Urmen is going to be playing here on the Soviet side with me. I'm also joined by Mystical Walrus and Itaidek, who are going to be playing with the 15th Infantry and the 29th Tank Corps. On the opposing side we have Harbinger, Lorenz, Kopsik and Stalin, who are going to be playing with the 28th Jaeger, 25th Panzer Grenadier, 21st Panzer and 5th SS Viking division. This is one of the 2 new German divisions actually. The other one being the Fallschirmpanzer, the Erlen Göring division. I think Kopsik here has a YouTube channel as well, so make sure to go check that out. I believe he does Polish videos, so if you're a Polish viewer, maybe worth having a look. So let's have a look at some of the units that we have down here from the start with the Home Army. Now the Home Army is quite an interesting one because we have quite a lot of captured German units to look at throughout the game. We've got the Tigers and Panthers actually in Phase B that we can use. But in the start here we can see that I've got a captured Borgward that we're going to be using against the Germans. This is the remote explosive vehicle. Currently I believe it's only available in like one other division in the game at the moment. But yeah, the Borgward's there and we're going to be using it against the opponents here. We've also got a bunch of Opel Blitz. They're going to be carrying the Ostrowno. Apologies if I get a lot of the pronunciation of the Polish units wrong, but I'm very happy for you guys to correct me in the comments as always. We have a couple of 37mm AT guns. These are being carried in with Fiat Jeeps, which is pretty cool. And we're going to be following up with a couple of snipers. Now these snipers, they actually only cost 10 points apiece, which is really, really cool. They're great for like supporting your infantry at range. They actually have 1,000 meter range, so make sure to exploit that if you're going to be bringing them in. Then we see that I've brought in the commander. This is the commander here, the officer, as well as 2 leader squads which are going to be accompanying a bunch of Ostrowno on the left hand side. I've also got a couple more AT guns there. These AT guns are pretty cheap, like crazy rate of fire. They also have HE rounds, which allows you to pin down infantry quite easily from range, but they won't do that much damage since the damage on those HE rounds is pretty low. Either way, my Fiat truck there is going to be killed off, unfortunately. Here we can see my Fiat Browning firing away, and I've also got the 20mm now firing at the Jaeger in the building there, but the Pak 38 is going to take out that Browning truck, and the Flak 20mm is unfortunately going to take a bunch of mortar fire very shortly. Either way, my Ostrowno, these guys are now engaging the Pak 38 there alongside the sniper that's taking shots. We've also managed to get the better of the Sturmjäger. Sturmjäger only able to engage at 300 meter range, and we spotted them early with the snipers, so we're managing to get lots of damage onto them. You got the Jaeger in the town here, they're also taking hits from the snipers, so pretty damn decent so far. My Ostrowno up on this hill, they're busy engaging some infantry, but they're also being slammed by the 20mm. They're taking a lot of damage as they try and hide in the side of the tree line here. My 20mm has just been taken out by mortar fire, but we're going to be returning mortar fire since I have two 80mm mortars here with the 3-star veterancy. So they're going to be going ahead and pinning down the Panzergrenadiers that are approaching my 37mm that's just taken out the 20mm autocannon vehicle there, the 231. Also managed to take out the IG-18 with the help of the Ostrowno and their machine guns. As you can see, my Borgvard has moved into the town now. We're just looking for an infantry squad or two to blow up. But the amusing thing about this was my Borgvard kind of had a bit of a Benny Hill moment. It was basically dodging the shots from the Marders, whilst also kind of chasing around Harbinger's infantry that he'd put into the town. So you can see here the Jaeger Pioneer Führer doing a runner as my Borgvard tries to hunt them down. And he will just be continually jumping them back, and it doesn't end with that unit. He also does it with another unit in the future. Either way, big amount of mortar fire coming down onto this infantry here from Lorenz and Harbinger. Lorenz bringing up the Jaegers, or sorry, Harbinger bringing up the Jaegers, Lorenz bringing up the Panzergrenadiers. We're going to mortar all of those and pin them down, allowing us to press on them with the Ostrowno here, as you can see. And that was both my mortars and Mystical's mortars, all 3-star veterancy, so very concentrated mortar strike that, and it certainly did the job, gave us the point there. I've also managed to capture the point in the town. Now the great thing about these Ostrowno squads, I haven't really looked into them much so far, but basically they have 2 submachine guns, 12 Kar 98s and a machine gun, but also Molotov cocktails. And the fact that they have 15 men in the squad means that they retain a lot of their damage at medium range, even if they lose a few men, because they don't actually lose that much damage due to the Kar 98s being the ones that are lost. So they still are a pretty big threat, and it allows them to survive for a very long time against infantry in this sort of town engagement in this medium range. You can see the Borgvard here now trying to chase over to the Jaeger Pioneer Führer, but Harbinger are going to be doing a runner with that. So I'm just going to be forced to put that into the back garden of this house for the time being. More mortar fire going to be coming down from Harbinger onto these Panzergrenadiers, but we are managing to just about hold on to this flag for the time being. But Lorenz is going to now push up with some Panzergrens, surrender Mystical Walrus's units as he has returned his own mortar fire to that area. Got a few new units on the way. We've got some of these Gruppe Sturmovi. These have MP44s and MG42s. Really nice medium range infantry. Unfortunately there, my Borgvard's going to blow up and level a few buildings, as the Marder actually spotted that in the garden and took it out. But yeah, these Gruppe Sturmovi, they're actually pretty damn good. They are much better with veterancy, like most infantry is, but I think these guys benefit a lot more because they are, like, they have basically less men than usual. They only have like 8 men in a group as compared to the 15 men in the Ostrowno. Further back we have the Twat. This is an ace unit, and it's a captured Hetzer. That's going to be moving up to support the push into the town here. You can see I'm bringing that over to the left hand side to potentially basically cover the entrance into the town here. That's at least the plan, so that I can then push up my infantry a little bit more. You can see how good these Ostrowno really can be in this engagement. That's some Sturmjäger. Now those have MP44s, and at medium range you'd expect them to absolutely rip the Ostrowno to shreds, But the great thing about the Ostrowno, of course, at the closer range is that they have Molotovs, and you can see they put the Molotov onto the ground there, force the Sturmjägers to move, and then absolutely rip the Sturmjägers to shreds because they have a lot of numbers. Anyway, eventually some more units of Harbinger are going to be brought up here. The Sturmjäger with the MP44s going to be able to engage my Ostrowno from range with their MG42. There's a couple Sturmjäger there. I've got my 37mm, that's going to be trying to move up here into the back gardens to provide some HE fire and help pin down these Sturmjägers along the way. So yeah, these 37mm, they're pretty cool AT guns. Unfortunately this one kind of stuck there in the back garden. I need to move that to one side in order to get the line of sight onto these units. But for now, just kind of trying to micro my units so that they are in a safer position. At the moment the Gruppensturmöwie not really lasting too long. The Sturmjäger do get the better of the Gruppensturmöwie at range because they just have more men and more MP44s. So you can see this one is dying pretty quickly, and the mortar fire on top of that is just a little bit overkill, but gets the job done. Now I think this is probably the best way to use these squads, is just like have them double team enemy squads, because they do have like a lot of firepower for the small sort of squads that they are. So if you have then like 16 men instead of just the 8 men versus like a Panzergren, you're basically always going to come out on top, and it's a really great way to just like clean out like light forests like this, where you're going to be constantly engaging at like 200-meter range. You can see how quickly those Panzergrens just get chunked as they engage at that range. Yeah, they're just straight up dead. So my Pak 75mm, I brought up a couple of them behind the town. You can see one here in the back garden. This one just currently behind the town, shooting across to the Marder 2. I eventually end up turning off the APCR shells to the AP fires instead. This is something that I think a lot of people who are new to Steel Division won't realise, but APCR shells, they only do 1 damage, which means they're much more likely to just crit than actually kill, whereas AP shells have 5 damage. So turning off the APCR, yes, you have less penetration, but you're a lot more likely to get a kill if you do penetrate. So you can see as soon as I turn off the APCR, we got the kill, and that's the important part. So my 37 is currently in the back garden here, firing away. Look how quickly this thing reloads. It's just absolutely crazy. It's a 3-star, or in this case 2-star veteran C 37mm, which has like 20 round per minute rate of fire. And so it's fantastic for not only like pinning down infantry here, but you can see it's now firing at the Pak 38, and over time it will do enough damage to potentially kill that. So I'm just going to keep letting that fire away. Now I mentioned a lot of German captured units. Well, here we can see a captured Panzer IV in our hands that we've brought up behind the town to support the push. It's currently putting the hurt onto the Jaegers there out in the open. My officer currently providing the extra buffs to all of the infantry in the town here, including my Pak 40 here, which I can move up eventually, and will move up eventually, to this back garden that can then basically cover this road all the way into the town. The Loren's going to be trying to push up more Panzergrens onto the hill here. I have pretty much the perfect units in position. Unfortunately, Mystical Horus's field engineer is going to be revealing themselves at range, which isn't ideal because just Tug 3 is going to be firing across there, and also the Flak 43 ends up hitting them as well. My mortars there currently out of ammunition. The one bad thing about the Home Army, the Polish Home Army, is they only get 1 card of supply trucks. So you're basically forced to bring them in about phase B, so that you kind of have some in the early-ish game, but you're also not waiting 20 minutes to have supply. And so I'm currently waiting now for like the supply to come in phase B, but of course there are better things to buy at the moment, including the Polish captured Panther G. Going to be bringing that in. There's quite a lot of tanks shown in this area. Panzer III, there was a couple of Stugs there. So I thought bringing in the Panther would be a great way to just assert dominance up on either this hill or in the town. Oh, this 37mm was absolutely fantastic. It's firing away currently onto the Stug there, just constantly hitting that. It's going to be fired back upon. as it's finally been spotted after firing about 5 or 6 shots. But unfortunately, it does go down to the sniper. Stug 3's going to get away with that for now. But earlier, that 37mm, what it did do is armor crack this Stug 3, which was quite funny. I think it had like a 3% penetration chance at the time, and we managed to find that kill. Either way, Mystical Walrus is Crocodile going to be finishing off the 43, the Flak 43 there in the distance, and my Pack 40 is now going to be engaging Harbinger's Pack 38. Pack 38 doesn't have any HE, so my Pack 40 here is just free to fire at that. Of course, that is a captured Pack 40 that the Polish are using here. The soldiers in the Polish Home Army, I just think have really cool camo. They look really, really awesome. They have like an autumn leaf camo. Anyway, more infantry going to be coming in. A few more units of Ostrowno and the group Sztamowi. So my sniper's just chilling back here. The snipers in the Polish are just this like single lady, and they're only 10 points apiece. Really, really nice value. So I'm bringing in a couple more of those. The idea being that I'm just going to put them across in these buildings to help cover the advance into the town. You can see I've also brought up a new 20mm here, and that's got the Browning truck. Polish guy just chilling on the back of it. This machine gun's actually really cool. It sounds awesome when it fires, that's for sure. Anyway, Pack 40 doing its job, covering the road. It's currently engaging the Stug 3 at range, going to get the transmission damage there onto the Stug and force that back for the time being. Ostrowno is still engaging the Jaegers and Jaeger Pioneers, and honestly, like, the performance of the Polish infantry, it didn't necessarily surprise me, but here it just kind of assured me that they were very strong, in that we're engaging the 28th Jaeger here of Harbinger, and Harbinger's infantry is like pretty damn good. Like the Jaegers, they have the MG42s and G43s at range, but also like especially the Sturmjägers, the fact we were able to trade with them effectively, it was just crazy. Oh, this was interesting. I have my sniper here. I'm just microing it in and out of the building whilst she's reloading so that I can get the shots onto the IGs without them being able to target her. So it's just giving me lots and lots of free hits. And snipers are actually fantastic at taking out support weapons at this sort of range. They're the IG-18. We managed to take out 2 of them along with the help of the Panther G that's now arrived. Another 20mm is going to be unloaded here at the back side of the town, and you can see I'm dropping a load of off-map on the far side of the town now as well. That's my off-map vehicle over here. Just this little Jeep radioing in the massive off-map. These 152mm off-map vehicles are actually pretty good because you can see the off-map strikes pretty concentrated. There's just a lot of shells that come down all at once, and so we managed to absolutely obliterate the far side of the town, and that's going to allow me now to push up a lot of my infantry, and I'm finally going to get my Pack 40 into that position that I mentioned on the backside of that garden. Now you may have just noticed something pretty crazy in the bottom left side of the screen. This is quite simply, or the main reason that I wanted to show off this game in the on the channel today. The biplanes I've just bought are pretty awesome. You can get a lot of them with the Polish. It's not the first division actually to have access to the biplanes, but it's something that I've always wanted to try, and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a chance. So here goes my Browning truck. It looks like the Sturmjäger there were having none of that. They threw one of their H3s and blew up the truck. But I did manage to run down a few units with that Browning car, which was really, really cool. And it looked awesome as the guy was driving around blasting his machine gun. But yeah, we're going to be approaching those Sturmjäger, try and take out the far side of the town, whilst I just continue to buy more and more biplanes with each tick. I think the other division that has biplanes is potentially Turin or something like that. There's another division that has a lot of biplanes, but in this one you can actually get 33 biplanes in total. Now I was pretty lucky the 152mm, I just about managed to avoid the sniper killing it. It's an unarmoured vehicle, so snipers can take out them quite easily. But the idea being, I'm just going to try and get the artillery onto the units that I spotted earlier in this tree line. I believe it was like an AT gun or something. Meanwhile, Panther G going to be engaging up the road. We're going to be firing at this Pack 40 here. Pack 40 is going to struggle to penetrate the Panther at that range. The APCR, it just isn't going to do the trick, and the AP rounds only have 145mm of penetration, which is more than the Panther G has in front armor. Because we're engaging at the 2000m range, the penetration value drops off, whereas of course HE damage doesn't. Anyway, my off map going to be coming down here again. You can just see how concentrated that is. I think it's definitely worth having with the Polish Home Army, just because the Polish Home Army actually has a real bad sort of amount of artillery that they have to choose from. Either way, that sniper I spotted earlier, I thought I would bring in one of the biplanes just to see if we could make this effective. It has 4 50kg bombs, so it can pin down an infantry squad, but it's got to be pretty much bang on in order to do so. I'm deciding to bring over one of these squads, the VulcanHDGaming, and we're going to be pushing into these trees in order to hunt down the sniper at the same time. Some more bombers going to come in, potentially dislodge the sniper if my opponent decides to move them, and then if they do, we can then kill it off with the VulcanHDGaming. So there we go, bombs away. You can see the snipers going to try and do a runner. Well, that was actually a Beobachter there, and we end up surrendering those, which is great. So that stops any corrected shot onto my units. And this Panzer IV currently taking some mortar fire, I presume. So I'm going to do something quite risky here. I'm going to be throwing up the 152mm. It's only got one shot of the off-map left. And I thought it'd be fantastic if I could get off-map onto the enemy mortars here. But the HE-111s have just been brought in from Harbinger. So it's just a matter of time before that lands and kills my truck. I just get the off-map on the target in time. And that's going to be straight on top of all the mortars that you can see are firing from this position, which is fantastic. I don't care about the truck dying after I've got the last strike down, so that was perfect timing as those bombers come in and drop the bombs onto my infantry. Now my infantry do end up surviving a lot of that. They are of course pinned down, so if Harbinger brought a unit up the road and surrendered a lot of units, I would have been in trouble. But since he didn't have anything to follow that up, I was in a decent spot. Now the off map's going to be coming on down. We can watch exactly how effective that's going to be. So these are actually the Gib Gs, and my off map's just going to be smashing all of that. And Harbinger's also got the Jaeger Pioneers coming in here as well. So just hoping that my off map does as much damage as possible. If I get any direct hits, then it will do quite a lot. But for now, I'm just kind of pinning down all of those units and trying to make sure that they don't harass me for the near future. Now, probably wondering what happened to all those biplanes. Well, here they are. It's the flight of the Valkyries, as all of my biplanes are now pushing in. It was quite amusing at the time. Mystical who's on my team, was wondering what the buzz was from the spawn until he looked back and realized that all of the biplanes are coming in. Our opponents are going to be trying to shoot them down with fighters. They're going to get 1, they're going to get 2, but that's not going to dissuade my beautiful biplanes as they go for the bombing strikes onto this infantry. We're looking to kill the Sturm Pioneer, the Panzergrenz here. Another biplane goes down, but bombs away. We're going to make it, and that's going to kill all of the infantry that's going to come up there. I've got a couple more bombers following up. These ones actually have 650 HE power, 650 kilogram bombs, sorry. And so we're going to be dropping those onto the Panzergrenz and wiping them out. And I've got a couple left over that are just going to be coming in to bomb the tree line here. And I found it pretty awesome how we managed to get away with using these bombers to full effect. Those 650 kilogram bombs certainly doing the job there. And I've got a couple hanging back that lost sight of their targets that I gave at the time. So they're going to be coming in and finishing off units wherever. But either way, an awesome biplane bombing strike, which was a lot of fun to pull off. Thankfully, my teammates had brought in plenty of AA. Mystical's got a couple Bofors here, as well as the Tripolston, so that managed to pick off a lot of the fighters that were brought in to shoot down the biplanes as well. So I think overall the team got quite a lot of value from me doing that, even though these biplanes themselves, I wouldn't recommend necessarily making use of them yourselves, unless you have like a good team coordination, for example. So going to be bringing in some more infantry. You can see just the Ostrowno just brought in so many of them throughout this game. And one thing I actually haven't mentioned about this particular battle group that I've made, it's Juggernaut. So we're into phase C, and that means I'm getting 220 points per minute. And with the Polish Home Army, you can get a lot of infantry, like a lot of infantry. It's just crazy how many you can get. I think some of the cards, you can get like 36 infantry on a card in phase C if you bring them with no veterancy. Now, Harbinger is going to be making a big old push with the Sturmjäger here, but he hasn't really got them very spread out. So that's going to become a massive target for my mortars as soon as I get some supply in here to basically sort them out, because I've been kind of slacking on bringing in that supply for most of the game. More Ostrowno on the way, and I've also got Tiger on the way, the captured Tiger. Oh, look how beautiful this looks with all the smoke in the distance. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, my mortar that does have ammunition, we're going to be allowing that to fire. And we do still have some infantry in here that can kind of hold these guys back. I've also got the two snipers that can engage from the 1000 meter. So as the Sturmjägers get closer, they will get pinned over time. Another Stug going to be going down on this road. All of the reinforcements that have been trying to come up here have either been hit by the Panther G or the Pak 40, which is nice. So we've been managing to cover off the approach from the left side towards the town. But this right side, he is getting pretty close. I'm going to be bringing in Tiger, as I already mentioned. And I've also started to bring in a bunch of infantry on this right hand side. You can see I've spread that out. Haven't actually unloaded a lot of it yet because I was focused on this push, of course. But the idea was to be that I would unload these and then make a push across the river in the near future. So incoming all of this infantry. You can see the snipers firing away there with the support of the machine guns from the Ostrowno range. And we're managing to get quite a lot of pinning done onto those units. The Panzer IV also moving up here and providing the HE shells onto that infantry as well. So there we managed to surrender a Sturmjäger, and the Molotov cocktail came down on top of those, and we managed to get rid of them. And yeah, we just started cleaning house with this infantry. I was really surprised like how well we did, but no smoke support for Harbinger. He hasn't decided to put that down, so we're able to just engage him with all of these different units at range. And now my mortars are being reloaded. They're going to be getting involved as well. And I've also now got my 152 millimeter off map in. This is the second one that I have. I believe you can only get 2 cards of them in the home army. So they're now going to be sending in a strike on top of these Sturmjägers as well. HE-111 is going to be coming in with their bombing strikes. They are going to hit my infantry pretty hard, but actually end up avoiding my Pak 40. Also, the HS-129B2 here doesn't manage to get the shot onto the Panther G. Over on this right side, you can see the IL-2s now coming in. So this is what I think you'd normally use with the Polish Home Army. You get a lot of IL-2s, and they're pretty useful. In this case, it doesn't really show their usefulness as I hit the front armor of the Panzer IVs, but I think in general they could be really, really strong at taking out heavy tanks if you bring them in twos. I also managed to get some like cluster munition strikes over here earlier with some of the cluster munition biplanes, which was really funny. And my teammate has decided to bring up some Spitfires to support me. Big thanks to Mystical there, as I bring in another train of my biplane bombers to help deal with this abundance of Sturmjäger. I was really hoping I'd be able to do so, but the game's going to end and we're not going to see another biplane bombing strike. But it was really fun to be able to use them throughout the game. in order to provide support to my teammates, as well as make that big old bombing strike halfway through. So yeah, loads of fun. I had a great time messing around with the Polish home army. We didn't really get to see them in full swing, so I'll definitely make sure to cover them again in the future when I get to show off the full Juggernaut prowess. But that biplane madness, I just wanted to show off for sure. So in the end, we had not the most crazy KD in the world. It's like 1,945 kills to 1,290 losses. But the fact that we managed to do that whilst bringing in all of those biplanes, I found quite amusing. So in terms of the kills, you can see when the biplanes actually came in. They did manage to get themselves some kills. The Pack 40 there, Sturmpioneer, Ostrowno, Panzergrenz, and some more Panzergrenz. Hitlergrenz very hard on that hill. And there you can see a couple of Panzer IV kills from the ones with cluster munitions on the right side. And my snipers managed to actually finish off 2 Sturmjägers, and considering these snipers cost 10 points apiece, and the Sturmjägers probably cost like 30-40 points each, that's quite some good value there. And the 152mm off-map didn't actually get that much value from its kills, but the great thing about the off-map there, the 152mm, is it pins down everything in that area. So you basically have the dominance, especially with the amount of infantry you have with the home army. Like pushing forwards afterwards is just crazy. Again, another sniper here getting a lot of value. Pack 38 IG-18s. Really, really worth having these snipers just because they are so damn cheap. I believe they'll probably be increased in price in the future, I reckon. The Ostrownishi also getting a lot of value. These are only 25-point squads, and they're 15 man, which is crazy. So they managed to get the better of Jaeger Pioneers, Sturmjägers, and all that good stuff. So I think it's fine that the infantry is a little bit overpowered at the moment, because there's not actually much else in the deck that the Polish home army has to rely on. Now, unfortunately, I didn't really get to show off the Kubus, which is one of the prime units in the home army. It's basically like a little armored car that was built during the Warsaw Uprising. But either way, really, really fun game. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I definitely plan to bring more content from the DLC onto the channel over the coming weeks. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see more Steel Division 2 content in the future. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.